Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Today is Monday, December 16th, 2024. It's your boy Jay Taylor, Voices for the Voiceless, and just coming back with some more updates. And as the title said, January 6th had 26 government informants. Wow. So the narrative that has been surrounding January 6th and Donald Trump is that he had emboldened when he was coming out of office, he had emboldened his followers to storm the Capitol and to cause all this havoc. And the Democratic Party has been using this as a talking point to discredit Donald Trump. Um, when Donald Trump said that, wait a minute, there was some government interference involved. A lot of those people were not Trump supporters. They were actually people that were sent in by the government to cause confusion. And we find now that it's coming to light there was 26 government informants, or some other type of terminology, government cooperatives or whatever they want to call them, that actually stormed the Capitol and caused all of that. So it's just amazing to me that we're finding this out now. And so if you're familiar with the whole rhetoric surrounding January 6th, when Trump was getting out of office and Joe Biden was coming into office, this is a bombshell. And also, I see that ABC just settled with Donald Trump a $15 million defamation lawsuit they agreed to pay. So all of this rhetoric that we were telling you about, the propaganda machine, they was calling the man Adolf Hitler. They were saying he was a fascist. They were saying he's racist. They were saying he was a threat to democracy. All of this negative press that possibly got this man shot, because the public is just irresponsible to spew this type of hatred on an individual, especially someone that was at the time a former president. He's a president elect now, but that that actually emboldened people to do something or feel like he was some type of national threat to our country. So it's just very irresponsible. And ABC, actually agreeing to this $15 million to pay Trump just speaks volumes to what we were saying, that it was false news. It was irresponsible propaganda that was dangerous. And you got people out here crashing out thinking that this man is some type of threat, so to our country. And, I think I saw that he's also suing CBS News for $10 billion because of this rhetoric in a defamation lawsuit. So, I mean, by him becoming the president and actually winning, they're kind of falling back, kissing the ring, the whole nine. You know what I'm saying? So it's just funny to see the left coming back and speaking. Let's just I got something I want y'all to check out, man. But a lot of people are falling back off the rhetoric that they spew, and this is Van Jones.
How the hell did Donald Trump figure out the mainstream media is the fringe and the fringe is now the mainstream? How the hell did Donald Trump figure out? I mean, Joe Rogan is obvious, right? Like, we knew the guy had a big audience. It's not like we were like stunned, but like, how the hell was he, the 78-year-old guy who doesn't even have a computer and still like writes handwritten notes? How did he become the guy who cracked the code on, to your point, running a cultural, I don't even want to say campaign, running as a movement. Look, movement, heading the cultural movement versus the campaign.
Look, every one of your people knows Elon. Listen. Yeah, so everybody keeps, I mean, the problem is you have a framework in your mind that How can Donald Trump? How can Donald Trump? How can Donald Trump? Guys, can we cut it out? Donald Trump is not an idiot. Donald Trump, let me just be very clear. Donald Trump is smarter than me, you, and all critics. You know why we know? Because he has the White House, the Senate, the House.
Totally agree.
Or the popular vote. He has a massive media ecosystem bigger than the mainstream, built around him and for him, and a religious fervor in a political movement around him. And his best buddy is the richest person in the history of the world, and the most relevant Kennedy is with him. This dude is a phenomenon. He is the most powerful human on earth and in our lifetime. And we're still saying, well, how is this going? We look like idiots to ordinary.
You're totally right. All right, guys. So we gotta be.
So I'm just saying, right? Now that's Van Jones, CNN, that was one of the main people that was calling this man an idiot, calling this man a threat to democracy, calling this man everything but a child of God for the past, umpteenth years. And now he's Trump is the best person on planet Earth. I mean, Time magazine named the man the man of the year on that magazine. So it's just crazy, right? When we see how they're flipping the narrative now, and people are, waking up to a lot of the stuff that's been going on, has been lied. The public has been lied to for so long. And also, I saw something just to give y'all some more updates. Some bank is working with Trump already, has agreed to invest $100 billion in the United States economy. So that's going to create over 100,000 well-paying jobs. And man, it's looking up, y'all. Right now we got drones the size of SUVs floating over certain parts of the East Coast. And the government is not doing anything about it. The president, the vice president are quiet. People are panicking because we don't know they're supposed to be coming from out the water, coming from overseas. The military is at the Pentagon. They act like they don't know what's going on. It's like, where is the leadership? January 20th cannot get here fast enough. And, it's crazy. But yeah, let's get to the subject at hand here.
The liberal media claimed that this was Russian disinformation. Okay, that you shouldn't believe it. Just to admit, 2 to 3 years later, that the Hunter Biden laptop story was real. Okay, when it comes to Joe Biden and his mental deterioration, right-wing conspiracy. Just to later find out that no, Joe Biden actually is mentally deteriorating, and all of those videos of Joe Biden clearly losing his mind in the middle of meetings, on stage, with world leaders. They weren't cheap fakes. They were real. They weren't out of context. It was actually Joe Biden losing his mind. Okay, these are the same people that claim that there is no invasion at the border, just to find out that, there in fact is an invasion. Okay, and what Stephen A. Smith is going to find out here is that the so-called right-wing conspiracies about...
Yeah, let's stop there right there. The Hunter Biden situation. They lied about that. We finding that the Democrats lied about that. We finding that out to be true. Joe Biden himself, they were saying, "Oh, he's so great. He's in tip-top shape mentally," and we saw the man deteriorating right before our very eyes. So they just lied and lied, and now they are waking up to even more lies. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we're gonna continue.
January 6th and FBI informants being involved, at the very least being active and present at the Capitol as the riot was taking place, is in fact true. Now, if you read the mainstream liberal media headlines that reference a recent watchdog report that came out from the DOJ, you would think the exact opposite, right? Because basically what they're trying to put out there is that, oh, the right-wing conspiracies about January 6th aren't true. There were no undercover FBI agents present at that day during the attack on the Capitol, right? This is what the headlines are saying. But if you actually read beyond the headlines, if you actually read the report did in fact find that some of the FBI's confidential human sources, aka CHSs, were present in the crowd, including.
See, now if you like, he on the screen has a the fine print where they actually do say some of the FBI's confidential human sources, that's what they call them, CHSs, confidential human sources, were present in the crowd. Huh? And that's what Trump was saying from day one. But they tried to paint the narrative that he was the one that was emboldening people, but it was the actual government, the FBI, to be more specific.
3 who were tasked with monitoring domestic terrorism subjects. The Inspector General also found that along with the CHSs, there were 23 others who came to DC in connection with the rally. 4 of them entered the Capitol and 13 entered the restricted security perimeter set up around the building. Yeah, so I was.
Wow. I mean, wow, y'all. Why are we just not getting this information? And this is confirmation from the government telling us exactly what Donald Trump had said years ago about January 6th. So this debunks anything anybody has to say about Donald Trump and January 6th.
You guys understand? The media is saying that no. The right-wing conspiracy about FBI agents being involved with January 6th is not true. While at the same time, when you read the fine print, when you read the articles, they admit that no, actually, it is true, right? They were there and they were involved. They entered the Capitol. They were in the crowd. That they were involved that day in some capacity. Essentially, again.
You see, that's why it's important to do your own research, read all the fine print to get all of the information.
Proving the so-called right-wing conspiracies true. Now, Stephen A is going to react to the fact that the liberal media has lied to him once again. It is pretty hilarious, right? But hey, this is a part of the process of the NPCs waking up and realizing that the mainstream media lies, right? That you cannot trust these people. So, without further ado, let's get into it.
I want to get into some politics before we get on out of here, as we now enter the final month of Joe Biden's presidency. And for the sake of argument, it hasn't been a good one. The Democrats lost the White House, Senate, and House in the November election. Meanwhile, this week, FBI Director Christopher Wray announced plans to resign at the end of the Biden administration as President-elect Donald Trump takes office in January. The news comes amidst a bombshell report from the Justice Department that revealed the FBI had at least 26 confidential informants on the ground when the Capitol was stormed on January 6, 2021. The report says most of the informants engaged in illegal activity during the chaos. The Justice Department says only 3 of its.
What I mean, like, you got 26 government informants on January 6th engaged in illegal activity at the Capitol. So, who gave them their marching orders? You know what I'm saying? It's just crazy that this is coming out. And this is Stephen A. Smith, by the way.
26 informants present had been instructed to observe potential domestic terrorist suspects on the day of the riot. The rest of the 23 appeared to have gone to the Capitol on their own accord. Upon hearing news of the report, Vice President-elect J.D. Vance posted the following on X, quote, "For those keeping score at home, this was labeled a dangerous conspiracy theory months ago," end quote. So 23 folks for the FBI were in the crowd. And we're just finding that out.
Now, that's what we know about. For all we know, it could have been triple that amount. That's what they're reporting. And we know a lot of times what they report is a micro amount of what it actually normally is. Let's just note that, though, allegedly.
Didn't hear anything about that for the election. Didn't hear anything about that when the quote-unquote insurrection was broached by Vice President Kamala Harris as the Democratic nominee, by President Biden before her, by Democrats in both the House and the Senate, as they articulated the belief that Donald Trump was a danger to democracy and using this as a profound, illuminating bullet point to make that case.
Thank you.
And now here we are yet again finding even more evidence to Donald Trump's claims when he articulated that process is rigged, the Democrats are this or that, they're talking about us, but look at what they do. We don't know all the details. It's a report. Justice Department comes out with this. That's not my big issue. My big issue is that I'm really, really sick and tired of every time I turn around finding something else that the Democrats have lied about or downplayed or misrepresented.
But you a Democrat, though. But you voted for Kamala. I think this man be capping y'all, Stephen A. Smith. Be on here because he got to say he voted for this lady and he a Democrat and all that. But every time he comes to speak, he says the complete opposite. You know what I'm saying? Like, he know what's going on. But just, I believe, to save his job and his position, he has to act like he supports the Democratic Party.
Long way. Where's the $1.5 billion that was given to the Democratic Party?
Let's talk about that. They raised over $1 billion. Some reports are saying $2 billion in Kamala Harris administration, her campaign, rather, blew that amount of money in less than 4 months. 100 days or so, blew through $1 billion plus. And you have staffers that are coming out saying that they did not get their last paychecks. They're saying that she's 20 million in debt. And she did not pay her staffers. The lowest people on the totem pole did not get their checks. How is that possible? And this is the same person that was supposed to come in and fix our economy when you couldn't even manage $1 billion in less than 4 months and make sure that all of your workers got paid. We dodged the bullet, y'all. America dodged the bullet by not electing that lady. I'm just saying.
Where is it? Where the money go? Why was Oprah given $2.5 million? Why was Al Sharpton's National Action Network given that much money? Before interviews, by the way. Why? I think it was $500K for the National Action Network. Why? I want to be clear. I don't have any problem with the National Action Network taking that money because they don't have a lot of money. I have more of a problem with Oprah taking $2.5 million when she's worth over $1 billion. But speaking to us as if her heart and soul was so immersed in supporting Kamala Harris. Well, then why didn't you do it for free?
Let's stop that there. And he has a great point. Most times when campaigns are run, it's the other way around. Someone like Oprah would endorse their candidate that they believe in, not get paid to come out and endorse them. That's backwards. You know what I'm saying? So a lot of these celebrities got paid, and that's where a lot of that $1 billion went to. But the main thing I wanted to bring to y'all was January 6th was a hoax. The government obviously was behind that hoax, and they tried to dump it off on Donald Trump, and that's been their talking point for the last 4 to 6 years. You know what I'm saying? So, man, Voices for the Voiceless. Appreciate y'all. Not gonna be here long. Gotta go. Until we see next time. We love you all. and have a blessed rest of your week. Peace.